Have a vision, and I tell this to every nurse I think I ever worked with. If you have a vision, if you have a conviction about something that needs to be done, do whatever you can to fulfill it. Even if you feel like you're failing, do whatever you can, because it means lives and can turn sorrow into joy for many people. My name is Kendrew. I was in the first class of Mount Royal nursing program, which started in January 1967. What's really got it started was when I finished high school, I was working as a candy striper at the Children's Hospital here in Calgary. And I walked by a room on the pediatric ward, and there was a baby in a crib all by itself crying, a large crib and a baby that was maybe about a year old. And in those days, parents weren't allowed to stay with their children. And so this baby's alone and crying. So I went and asked the nurse if I could cuddle that baby. So I did. And I kept looking at this baby. I was only 18 years old. And thinking something's wrong. I don't know what it is. Something's wrong here with this baby. And then I learned that she was blind. So there she is in a crib all by herself, frightened, lonely, and can't even see. And it was like an epiphany, I think, for me right then. I thought, I just want to be a nurse. I want to work with children. I want to work with babies and make sure they're not alone. The highlight of my career, there were 2 incidents that happened that we had such a wonderful team of doctors and nurses and educators, and we got some programs going that really did help to change the care of babies who were very ill or who were dying. I was told this by the doctors that there was a teaching that was very prevalent from Sigmund Freud, the psychoanalyst, that you could not grieve the loss of a dream, which we know isn't true now. But so if a mother and dad lost their newborn baby, if it was stillborn or was very handicapped and wasn't going to live, they weren't allowed to see that baby, because you can't grieve the loss of a dream. But we all know that dream is very real before the baby's born. So we set up a program where the babies were brought into the nursery and put into a cubicle where they could, if they were dying, they would die with dignity, and the mother and dad could be there, family could be there with them as they wished. So maybe a year or 2 later, after this program had started, I went back down to this one doctor and I said, can you tell me why you were so upset with me about wanting to set up this program? And it turned out that he had lost a baby 30 years prior, and he and his wife had never got to say goodbye to the baby. So, and it just brought it all back, and it was too painful, right? Too painful for this. So I said to him, I'm sure there must be a lot of people in Calgary that have experienced what you have and have never been able to say goodbye. So we had a symposium, advertised it in the Calgary Herald for anyone that had suffered that. Would they like to come and spend an evening with us? And we had about 400 people come that had experienced that. So it was a wonderful evening of talking and weeping and healing. I think the 2-year program was a really good jumping off spot. It was just I think Mount Royal, that 2-year program at that time, was a launching pad for us. Just go, and you've got the basics. Don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to try something new. That was the feeling I got from our instructors. You've got the basics. Go for it.